Good morning. How is everybody doing? I'm John Kenney with Kenney Attorneys and Consultants, and today I have the pleasure of talking to Kyrah, who is on the Executive Committee for the National Women in Roofing. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on board with us. So I want to kind of ask you a question for our audience that's out there listening today and will be hearing this afterwards. So tell us a little bit about the National Women in Roofing, if you would.
Sure. National Women in Roofing, which is a national organization that basically is around for a pillar of different reasons. Mentorship, which I hold dear as I am on the Mentorship Committee, but also networking, education, and really the ability to share best business practices with other women, promoting and encouraging growth within the organization.
Excellent. I too have a passion for mentoring. One thing I want to jump in here is, and you can explain it. So from a male perspective, I'm also a member of the National Women in Roofing. So I want everybody out there to know that if you are a man in the industry and you're not a member, please be a member. This is a great organization. So I can tell you that the male perspective is very important to work along with the women in the group, especially in mentorship. We, how we've come up and worked in different things. So tell us a little bit about that part of it. As like I said, I've been involved. So you're not exclusively, a lot of people out there think it's a women's organization. It's
Right.
not. And I'll see if I got this correctly, and then you can correct me on it. It's really to help the women coming into the industry, the women that are already in the industry, to get that mentoring, the education, and the available resources that normally would not be available to them. Is that correct?
Yes, and to your point, the involvement of everyone, men and women, is so important to the organization. At the company I work for, National Roofing Partners, we're very blessed because we were one of the founding sponsors of National Women in Roofing, and Steve Little, who's our CEO, was very instrumental in trying to make sure that there was that group, right, and being able to establish something that was helping not only on the education side and networking and all of that, but also coming together. And then even now, our current president, Daryl Kratzer, I mean, he's been to a networking event and really involved, and I appreciate that very much. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's also good for people to understand that why this organization, if you're any position in the roofing industry, and especially if you are a woman in the roofing industry, this is a great way to reach out, and there's great ways to learn how to advance your career. And that's where kind of both perspectives come in very well, from the male side and the female side, to help the group basically expand and grow. That's what I really enjoy working with. And I work on the Membership Committee. So I've been on that for forever, it feels like. And then I have the honor of working with you guys on the Membership Committee as a liaison. So I see a lot going on. So that being said, I want you to tell us a little bit about what, the Mentorship Committee is working on this year.
So we're doing a few different initiatives. Of course, always working with the mentees. There's a sign up platform online on the National Women in Roofing. And what our goal is to kind of connect mentors with mentees and create those opportunities for dialogue. On top of that, we also are planning a few different webinars where we can provide those opportunities for people to connect. And then, of course, as long as IRE takes place, we'll have National Women in Roofing Day and have somewhat of like a speed dating, if you will, so that mentees can have an opportunity to sit down with possible mentors and leaders in the industry, and actually have those open dialogues to get them to the next step. And that's really what it's about, right? Is providing those opportunities so that we can educate each other. I don't think there's anyone in the world that you can meet that you don't have something to learn from, right?
Correct. So at this roofing day, and we'll make the assumption everything's going forward, because it is as of now. Hopefully it is. Well, I think everybody's looking and excited about some in-person contact for a change. So in this like speed dating concept you're talking about, so if I was an attendee and I was going to attend that, so I'd have the opportunity to basically switch different areas and tables and kind of be able to talk to a little bit of mix of everybody about different things. Is that correct?
Yes, we'll have a
Wow,
range of
that's interesting.
topics, you know,
Perfect.
6 to 10 topics, and you'll have the opportunity to actually sit and meet with different industry thought leaders. So I'm excited.
And that's on Sunday before the convention?
Yes, it is Sunday before
Good.
IRA.
And how long does that go on, all day?
It's an all-day event. I'm not sure how long the actual mentor-mentee portion will last yet, but yeah, it's an all-day event.
So during that day, there's other things going on where they'll be able to attend as well?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Do you have a couple highlights on that you could share?
I don't. We are in the planning stages,
Ah,
putting together an agenda, but it will be very similar to the ones in the past
we have
where
a guest speaker and
we'll
different,
have
yeah, that's great.
speakers and roundtables, lunch, some sort of activity to make sure that everyone's getting an opportunity to network and get to know each other. So
Sounds exciting. I'm sure everybody, and it's a good time if you're going to the convention and you're not a member. Do you, are you guys are going to be are you on the show floor with a booth or anything?
yes,
Yeah.
we absolutely will be.
So they could just simply stop in and get a lot of information.
Yes. And another initiative that the Mentor Committee is doing again this year is for scholarships
Mhm.
for women in the industry to be able to attend the show that may not have the opportunity otherwise. We've sent it out in the newsletter and we'll be sharing on social media too, but highly encourage women to apply so that they can have an opportunity to actually join us at not only the National Women Roofing Day, but also the IRE show.
I know one thing too, and so women in roofing, if you're listening, if you're whether you're on the field or
Mhm.
you're in, in administrative or sales, estimating, you own your own company, you work for a manufacturer vendor, the group is super diverse, correct? I mean, you have from business
Yes,
owners to field, to roofers, all the way up to executives and levels of companies.
we do. We have, our boots on the roof. You have safety, manufacturing, distribution, a little bit of everyone in the industry. So it really does provide a great networking opportunity to learn from each other.
And I think that's really what makes National Women Roofing very unique in the industry because of the diversity of everybody participating in different aspects of the industry. I mean, I
Mhm.
know, roofing organizations in general have either, you're a contractor member or you're, an associate member. So, that, but you really have the participation from all levels involved. I mean, heavy involvement. You run programs for it, the webinars, the mentorship is fantastic. So I think that makes you unique. So anybody listening to that, definitely check it out. Website has got a lot of information on it too, correct?
Yes, it does. If you haven't had a chance to peruse it, I highly encourage you to do so.
And I guess a good thing to touch on now is a little bit. So that's the national level. And then you have local chapters. Can you give
Yes.
us a little insight into that?
Yeah, so that was when I first came on board with National Roofing Partners. We had a local meeting here at our office that we hosted, and I immediately wanted to get involved. I'm actually on the executive board for the Dallas Fort Worth chapter as well here locally. And it has been such a blessing to myself and the people that are a part of it because it gives us an opportunity to get together. Even during COVID, we would have monthly Zoom meetings and get together and be able to talk about what's working, what's not working. We had a couple of people that lost their job during COVID, and we reached out with each other to help place them and find them opportunities
Great.
and really come together.
It's really good. So question two, and to show you're a real deal, you've got a full-time job.
Yes.
The organization is totally volunteer that you're doing. How about if you can, whatever you could share with us a little bit about your career and what you do.
Sure. So I'm the Vice President of Finance for National Roofing Partners. For those that don't know kind of what we do, we're a national single source solution for national and regional companies using our network of tier 1 roofing partners. And our organization is somewhat unique that not only are we a business, but we also have this network of roofing partners that come together to share best business practices, and each year, host a summit and really bring people together in the industry. So I love my job. I love what I
That's
do.
great.
I dream numbers, so I get to do the numbers aspect, which I love, but I also get an opportunity to really meet the leaders in our industry and have that best business practices. And our partners are typically your tier 1 roofing partners in the major metropolitan areas, and they get it and they're involved in the community and giving back. So that's what affords me the opportunity to be able to participate in organizations like National Women in Roofing.
That's great. So, one thing, and I'll ask you this question. So in your role, in your job, and you get to meet with, you have hundreds of roofing contractors that you deal with in that role. And then you have the National Women aspect and the mentoring. Do you find that because you're in the role that you're in, which is a high role in the company, and that you're in National Women in Roofing and Mentoring, do you find that in some of the companies that you work with, do the the women in those companies, do they feel more comfortable knowing that you're in both roles and you get that chance to almost act as a mentor even in your current role? Do you find that as an advantage?
I think so. As part of my position, I get to travel and see our partners and see their offices. And a few months ago, I had an opportunity to visit one of our partners, and I actually got to meet one of their field techs, who's a woman. And I told her about National Women in Roofing, and she just lit up with excitement that she not only got to meet someone that's part of the organization and a part of NRP, but that I wanted her to be involved. And then we actually kind of created a little circle at the company with other people that wanted to get involved. And now all 3 of them that we met with, along with others, are joining, and they want to start their own group. And it's fantastic to see. And it helps bridge that familiarity, right? So when you're able to see people that maybe you either look up to, or people that you get along with and that you're peers with, you get to kind of see how it all works and intertwines together.
And that's great. And I, every time you can make anyone in the industry feel comfortable to see there is a path, there's a way to get through, they have someone to talk to, that's a golden plus. I know I've been in the industry 45 years. And when you first get, it's been a long time since I would be a newbie, but I know coming into any industry, you don't know what to do. You've got people that have been in, years ahead of you when you start, and they just, it's like you get up, you do what you got to do, but it's so important to give back to help mentor the next generation coming up. And I feel you with the passion and mentoring, why that's so important.
Yeah, and for me, I remember when I first started, Heidi Ellsworth and I hit it off really quickly. And she was a huge reason why I wanted to get involved in National Women in Roofing, because it is that you just instantly have those connections with people, and you don't even know what it looks like, but you want to get involved, and you want to be a part of it.
Yeah, and Heidi is a great promoter of the industry. I had an opportunity. She was on earlier, so she's always a big advocate of the roofing industry, the National Women in Roofing, and everything about it. So definitely that she was a good advocate to get it all going. So we're kind of getting ready to wrap up here. So on that aspect of wrapping up, what would be your message that we haven't covered, or what would you like to say as a closing statement of National Women in Roofing and roofing industry in general, how you see things going this year?
I would say there's 2 things. One, innovation. Make sure that you're doing whatever it takes to be innovative in your companies and your professional growth. And like we're involved in things like drone technology and artificial intelligence, and utilizing your network to build those things. And then the second one is get involved. Do it now. There's always a good time to start, and now is it. I encourage people to get involved at the local level and then progress into the national level, and just in whatever capacity you're able to get involved. It's important.
That's great advice. Yeah, and you brought up a good point. Start at the local level. It's a lot of fun. You get to work with a smaller group. You become friends. You do. I mean, I still have friends in the industry that I started with a long time ago. It's a great, always like to say it's the smallest, largest industry out there. I think it's a family, and that's what roofing's so great about.
Agreed.
Well, fantastic. Well, Carrie, I appreciate you taking the time today to get with us. It was great to talk to you and catch up and hear some great things about National Women in Roofing, and also NRP doing great things over there as well for the industry.
Thank you, John. I appreciate you as always.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for today. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you later.